My biggest regret in this life is that I've inspired more people to want to become YouTubers. Because although it can be a fun job where you creatively express yourself, and if you're at the top 0.00 whatever percent, you can make a boatload of money, at its core, we don't offer that much value to society. A lot less than a plumber or a barista, who I would die without. They're the real people who make the world turn, and we're the people who talk about that. And drama. And we're also people who like to feign we're amazing when sometimes we're huge pieces of shit. But I think I might have found the biggest piece of shit on YouTube. And it's not because of the content they make, it's because how they operate in the YouTube space and some of the nefarious things that they might be up to. To get to that, let's get a little context out of the way. With a tweet from Magnates Media, who's not the person I'm talking about. They are the victim in this situation. They tweeted out a few days ago, a YouTuber called Business Casual, owned by Alex Edson, has filed 3 copyright strikes against my channel, claiming I have used a couple of seconds of similar footage. And the way YouTube works, those 3 strikes mean that YouTube will delete my channel and all other affiliated channels, which is something I have personally gone through. I almost had all of my channels deleted because I had 2 strikes back-to-back from CGP Grey. I reacted to a couple videos on streams, and streams are considered videos from YouTube. And so CGP Grey not only took those videos down, but also gave me strikes for them separately, even though the videos were done a year apart. I don't blame CGP Grey for this. I reacted to them. I lifted that shit. I shouldn't have reacted to them. I paid the price for it by almost having my channel get deleted. Learn my lesson. I only react to people who are cool with me reacting to it now. Bing, bang, boom, it's done. But this is a little bit different of a situation, and we'll get to why in just a moment. But first, that name, Business Casual, might have rung a bell. This might help as well. If you recognize this video, there was big drama a little less than a year ago with Business Casual. He was suing YouTube and calling them evil. The skinny of this video, because it's an hour and 47 minutes long, is that Alex Edson was suing YouTube because they were defending a Kremlin-backed YouTube channel by not deleting their channel even though they were using Business Casual's assets. That's the skinny of it. Did it turn out to be true? Kind of, not really, no. YouTube definitely was not defending a Russian or Kremlin-backed YouTube channel. YouTube at the time pulled out of Russia as a whole with all Google products because of the war in Ukraine. So they definitely were not in the market of defending one singular YouTube channel while simultaneously pulling out everywhere else, forcing the top 3 most downloaded apps in Russia to be VPNs so people could still access their emails. That's just not what happened at all. And although a lot of people wanted me to cover it after watching the video, I thought, no, it's all kind of weird. Like, this rubbed me the wrong way.
YouTube will almost certainly censor this video. Probably not by taking it down outright, because that would be too obvious, but rather by shadow banning the video so that it basically does not appear anywhere in the search results or alongside other videos.
Now, it's fun to root for the little guy against big corporate entity, even YouTube, but that didn't happen here at all. The video is 2.1, almost 2.2 million views on a channel with half the subscriber base. It was clearly not suppressed, and I know that because it was recommended to me. That's how I watched the video in the first place. It pops up when you search for it too. There's no shadow banning here at all. It was just a bunch of rallying of the troops for a fake enemy, in this case, YouTube, who's supposed to be the big evil monolith. And Alex Edson, after looking into him at the time, was also not the most savory person. Now, I'm not going to get into the weeds of it. You can search this up yourself. But he started his career on YouTube by actually creating an MCN. And we all know now that MCNs are true evil, and his was no exception to that. His MCN that he made at 16 had super predatory deals that he was trying to push on creators, including this one, where 25-75 splits were trying to be signed into deals. This means 25% of all the revenue of the channel goes to the creator and 75% goes to Alex Edson until he gets the money back for setting it all up. And then it's 70-30, plus he owns 10% of the channel. That's insane. Those are insane deals. Now, you can look more of that up, but that's not what we're here to talk about today. What we're here to talk about is the new shit that Alex has been up to, which is sending out copyright strikes at such a high level that it is risking a channel being shut down in the first place. We are going to read the claims by Alex right now. Now, this is directly from Magnate Media. This is what he received in an email from Alex, and I'll just read it out verbatim. Your videos constituted wholesale copying of my copyrighted work. You did not transform my content in any way whatsoever. You took my copyrighted script, put it into ChatGPT or some AI software, and made slight tweaks. With respect to your infringing videos, business casual's copyright protected 3D visuals are not just the dominant thing shown on screen. They're the only thing shown on screen. He then goes to talk about that 2-hour video he made and how he won his lawsuit and actually got the channels owned by the Kremlin shut down. And so you shouldn't fuck with me because I have been successful before. Anyway, I've looked through some other videos. I see more of my stuff in there. Your stuff is not fair use. You should watch yourself and apologize to me because I have won in federal court before. That is the gist of his message. And the reply was, oh, I do apologize. What happened after that? That's when he sent the 2 more strikes. That's when he decided to send all 3 strikes. He apologized. Still, all 3 strikes were sent. So anyway, let's get to the actual claims. The first claim was you use AI-generated software to change my script, add tweaks to it, as opposed to making your own scripts. This has been proven false because the owner of Magnate Media, John, has his entire logs of him changing the scripts. Just because Google updates all that shit right here. He's been changing it. And the scripts are pages and pages and pages long. It's not exactly fair to say that he tweaked it because we're talking about Business Casual, who made a 13-minute video, and Magnates Media, who made a 53-minute video. AI did not just had 40 minutes. That was the guy doing research, coming up with the videos. But let's actually look at the infringing materials. Be a judge for yourself. These are the 3 separate claims, and I've pulled up all the clips so you can watch them side by side to be the judge of whether or not this counts as copyright infringement. Bear in mind, these are 18, 20, 30-minute long videos on both channels, and it's a couple of seconds total for each video. There's no more infringing materials than what I will show. Here's the first clip.
But as it turns out, all that hyper-growth was masking an insidious problem, which...
All right, keep that in your mind. Second clip. This is from Magnates Media.
That the original founders were focused on the wrong thing.
Okay, you know what? They did change to black and white at the same time. It was 2 seconds, but all right. Second clip.
Lots of capital was injected back into the economy.
Okay, here's the clip from Business Casual.
Although the senators were unable to find Morgan guilty of any illegal wrongdoings, the Pujo Committee eventually paved the way for the establishment.
Okay, that's it. It doesn't seem as solid. It just feels like they just used the same picture. Now, it's worth noting at this point that a lot of Business Casual's videos use a technique called Parallax, where you take a 2D photo and you separate layers within the photo to add depth to it, to maybe add movement to it. And you can watch it
but his tireless ambition
throughout the entirety of every single one of the videos. So the claim is not just outright using the picture because, let's be honest, none of the people who are making these videos own these pictures. They were taken before anyone who was making these videos were alive. It's actually the parallax technique that's being used. They're claiming that they are not making their own parallax edits, that they're just stealing Business Casuals. That is the claim. And here's the final one, and this one is, I would argue, the dumbest of all. This is the 2 videos side by side. On the left is Business Casual. On the right is Magnates Media. And this is from Upper Echelon. That's it. Which is not the same videos. I mean, it's the same picture at its core, but if you look at the cloud plumes, they're not the same. You could just see it outright. The cloud plumes here are a lot different. They're going way taller. This one's going outright, like there's a huge wind. There's a lot of cloud plumes on these 3 stacks. There's none over here on these 3 stacks. There's explosions added here. There's almost no similarity. And you know why there's no similarity? Is because the editor of Magnates Media did all the work themselves. They even provided their timeline in Adobe After Effects to prove that they edited and added in all these effects using that parallax technique themselves, as opposed to ripping it from Business Casual's video. So for that to be the grounds to not only deliver 3 strikes, but to also terminate the channel, to me, feel ridiculous. Not to mention that all of the photos being used are copyright-free photos. And here is a link to all the other people who are also using these photos. It's not exclusive to Business Casual. It's not like they got exclusive rights to it. It's Washington or the Wall Street Journal who's also using it. It's .gov websites using it. It's people on Twitter using it. It's a lot of other people because they're copyright-free photos. A lot of people use copyright-free shit. Now, here's the thing that pissed me off. And here's the thing that I think is the most damning of all. Alex Edson is not the creator of Business Casual. He's not a YouTuber. He does not know how to make a successful YouTube video with that style and narration. The person who made all those videos is actually Jordan Kuzmanov, whose name I'm surely butchering. And Jordan sold his channel, Business Casual, where he's listed as the founder on LinkedIn, to Alex Edson. Alex Edson purchased the channel, and then after purchasing it, decided to go around and start sending out strikes. Because although he is not a good YouTuber, he has been in the past a successful litigator by getting that Russian channel taken down. And I think he wants to do the same thing here by getting Magnates Media to get their channel taken down. And you might even recognize Jordan because he is also the owner and current operator of this channel, SideQuest.
Did have one thing in common.
Which is like a funny little British guy who tells you history things with a funny accent. Now, there's a few creators who have talked about this video, like Charlie and Upper Echelon, whose video I'll definitely like. Upper Echelon was super in-depth with his coverage. But the one thing that's been kind of bad is although a lot of YouTubers have been covering it, nothing has changed. Here's the update on Business Casual. Alex Edson deleting my channel. In my YouTube studio now, it says your channel will be terminated soon along with any associated channels unless you're able to resolve your strikes. And the issue is the strikes have not been able to be resolved because Alex Edson has not replied to any requests to remove said strikes. None of the pressure has made Alex Edson buckle because I think the dude yearns for lawsuits like children yearn for the mines. During this period, strikes will not expire. You will not be able to upload new videos. Your account termination is on hold awaiting final review of counter notification. Basically, because I've countered saying, hey, these strikes aren't fair, Alex Edson now has 10 business days to sue him. If he doesn't, that means the channel lives, that this will all be fine. But if he does, and this guy does have a history of lawsuits, well, then they go to court. They have to deal with an entire boatload of lawyers and fees and all that shit based off of what was 5 to 7 seconds of content of copyright-free images that the editors just happened to use somewhat similar stuff, but very clearly not the same, at least when it came to that last clip that I showed you guys. All I do know is that if Alex had a problem with the first few seconds or a few seconds of my video, he could have contacted me and I'd have him removed. I've tried reaching out to him several times to try to resolve it, but no answer. The fact that he made 3 strikes and is unwilling to talk suggests he wants my channel terminated, which is a good point because you can submit 3 claims under 1 strike. It is very intentional to submit 3 strikes with 3 different claims. You can group them together to be less punishing. The goal here is to be as punishing as possible. If Alex simply drops the strikes now, all of this will be resolved. So if anyone knows Alex, please, you could tell him that, hey, maybe don't be such an asshole. We can work out whatever the problem is. There's no need to delete someone's entire channel over a few seconds of footage or a few sentences in a script. I just want to move on from all this and continue creating content. Here he tags Alex and he says, I've mentioned this already, but if we ever cover a similar topic again, I'm more than happy to send you my script plus sources and an editor's raw files before I put them live. Which is like, he's being so charitable. He's being like too nice and too charitable to a guy who just bought a channel and then used the assets that were created on the channel before he bought it to then start striking people who are using stuff that is similar but not the same and not stolen. He goes on to thank the people who have been covering this, which hopefully me covering this maybe creates a little more stink, maybe helps in some way, shape, or form, or maybe doesn't. I don't know, man. If it feels like I'm just talking about shit without actually making any change in the universe, because I'm not cool like a plumber or barista, I don't actually add any fucking value. I just talk about drama and make money. Thanks for watching, though. Subscribe. I appreciate it. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Have a good one. Help out my man, Magnates Media, YouTube. Help this guy. Please. He should not have his channel taken down. This Business Casual guy seems like a huge piece of shit, allegedly. I don't know, whatever, to not also get sued, I guess. All right, goodbye.